Now, a report on the recovery from the Superstorm Sandy. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said today he intends to ask the federal government for at least $30 billion in aid. New Jersey is still tallying its losses, and damages in the region are expected to exceed $50 billion. Schools officially reopened today in one community along the Jersey Shore, but for the past week, teachers have already been hard at work helping students deal with the aftermath of the storm. Special correspondent John Tulenko of Learning Matters filed this story from the town of Belmar.
Hurricane Sandy tore into Belmar, New Jersey.
Belmar was one of the towns you would continually hear about on the radio. Families reported seeing a 4, 5, 6 foot wall of water. How are you?
Lisa Hanna is assistant principal at Belmar's one elementary school. Many of her students are recent immigrants, and most of their families had nowhere else to go.
I don't think anyone was really prepared for what happened.
Inside this house, 3 children and their parents were counting on luck.
They stayed through the storm, and very quickly the water came up into the room. They started to climb up on furniture. It was dark, there was no power, and water is rapidly rising.
All communication to the area was lost.
I'm Lisa Hanna.
It wasn't until a week later that Principal Hanna and a group of teachers were allowed into the hardest hit neighborhoods.
Ah! Got that, Jill? And this is getting soggy.
To check on their students.
Hola, ¿cómo está? How you doing, honey? Good. What do you need?
And warned them of a nor'easter that was coming in fast.
The apartment upstairs, he said there's...
Apartment up here? There are still a lot of families that don't have anywhere to go. They're staying in their homes, even though this is, I believe, day 10 of no power and no heat. Families have no way to communicate. They may not have extended families that they can go out and say, I'll stay with. And some of our families don't have reliable transportation. How are you doing? Are you okay? Yeah. We have warm blankets. You need more blankets?
I think so. Look at the
Yes? Is it cold? Here, more blankets. Okay. Today we tried to get a list of what people needed so we could go back and drop supplies off if they're still staying where they are.
Leche.
Okay, all right.
Somos dos familias.
2 families, okay, yeah, okay. So we need water, milk, and bread.
Visits from their teachers carried special significance for children.
When they see us on their front doorstep knocking and they realize it's us and we're here to see if they're okay, their faces lit up. We have blankets, nice warm blankets, maybe one more. In a time like this where kids are scared and you see it in their eyes, the more people they have around them that they are familiar with and that they know care about them can only positively impact them. Would you like us to come back and get you for lunch today for the kids? We can bring them down for lunch?
Okay.
Yes? Okay, about an hour. We'll pick you up, so we'll see you at lunchtime. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
The school was opened for lunch for the first time since Sandy.
Stay with me. It's a little wet on the floor.
The building hadn't been damaged, but the power was out. About 15 families arrived nonetheless for a free meal and a chance to reconnect with friends.
Muy caliente.
Kids seek comfort and structure. And we want to restore as much normalcy and routine as possible. A little girl, when we opened up the school for lunch today, she's walking in the dark because the lights weren't on. She said, "Oh, I'm so happy to be back at school. I feel so safe."
Hot soup wasn't the only thing being served.
We just grab baskets of books and let the kids grab books. We try and sneak in, if we can, a little bit of education. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop!
The lunch was a success for the 50 children who came, but 550 were enrolled here before the storm.
And what is this? I think there's a real sense of unknown for us, and I'm sure a real sense of unknown for the students as well. We'll need to have our, crisis intervention in place and our school counselor and school psychologist. This is going to be a long, ongoing effort.
But after 10 days in the dark, things started looking up.
Is that power?
With power restored, plans could move forward to reopen the school, and that should speed the recovery.
If we're up, parents can attend to what they need to do. They're dealing with cleanup of their homes, making calls to insurance companies and FEMA. We have families that have been very significantly impacted and yet are still here.
As for the family trapped inside their home, the water rising, they lost all their possessions, but not their lives. A boat came by and carried them to safety.
Out of those 550 students in Belmar Elementary, all but 27 were back in school today. School officials are trying to contact and locate those 27 who were not. The teachers were back as well, although many have still not returned to their homes.